What's up, guys? Back to another Konosuba video. In today's video we're going to talk about the character celebration selection ticket. That is totally the order that it says on the screen. Anyway, yep, so for the 300 days we get 7,500 paid quartz and a 300-day celebration character ticket for $39.99 USD. Before we get into who you pick and is it worth it, don't forget to like and subscribe. Helps me out a bunch. Content has been going smooth. Did miss a day yesterday because it was getting kind of late and I wasn't feeling myself. Was not sick, but wasn't feeling the greatest. And I almost didn't upload today because we've been having a bit of an internet issue. I have this thing. It's like a jetpack. It's not like real internet, I guess. It's just like a hotspot, and my download speed was in the bytes, less than a kilobyte. It said my download would take over 200 days. It was bad, and I still don't have it fixed. So hopefully, this video goes up after I record it, and I'm not just sitting without internet. But anyway, let's get into the video. So, for $39.99 USD, I know it's more expensive or less expensive in certain other places, but for your price, is this worth it? So let's go ahead and check who's in it. Click on that. We go to 300-day release celebration pack. And of course, it's just gonna have a list of characters. But luckily for you guys, I have go ahead and sorted all of them out onto a tier list. And I'm gonna be telling you what they do and why I think they go in certain places on the tier list. So first off, we have Kazuma. Now, if you pick Kazuma, okay, this is S-A-B-C, but we're gonna say F. Like if you pick, come on now. If you pick this character, I'm losing faith in many, and that's where Kazuma is. Kazuma, as we know, is a joke. He does a physical attack debuff on his first attack, and then an AoE water magic. Doesn't do anything else. Kind of sucks. Next up, we have Aqua. So, Aqua is not too great either. She has a party tier 2 physical attack buff and a small party heal, so she's not terrible, but she's still not anything you'd want to pick. Please don't waste 40 USD picking her, please. Same with Kazuma. Next up we have Megumi. Megumi is actually pretty good. Really quickly before I go into this, pick a character you don't have, because if you have Megumi and you say, oh well, ZB put her in S tier, so I should pick her over other characters. No. You don't have a character, always go for a character you don't have over dupes. And if you have like every character and you just want dupes, then go ahead and go off of that. But if you have all the characters, you probably really shouldn't be buying this pack anyway. This is kind of meant for, oh, I don't have, let's say, Wiz, and I want Wiz really badly, so you grab her off the selection ticket. But anyway, regards to that, Megumi, I'm gonna put in a very, very good. There's a bunch of Megumis, throughout. There is the pajama one, there's the ReZero one, there is the New Year's one, there's the water one, the barista one. Funny enough, 2 of those are in here. They are very, very good, but you probably have grabbed one by now. The pajama one isn't the greatest. As a tier 2 defense debuff on the 3rd skill, but it's single target and it doesn't really do anything else, so I'm going to put her in B. The Fire Megumi is good, but I don't think she's crazy enough to put her in S. If you don't have a Megumi at all, then I guess she would be bumped up to S, but I think there's a different Megumi in here that deserves to be higher. The water one has a moderate team attack buff and a tier 2 agility debuff. Very nice. Oh, that yawn came out of nowhere. Jeez. Anyway, she is also very good. I put her in the same tier as this Megumi just for this purposes. Where is she? There she is. This Megumi has a really good sub. I think it's the best sub for Megumi. Just wind damage. I'm gonna put her in the same tier just because fire, water, wind, they all do explosion. They're all pretty good picks, but I don't think they deserve to be an S tier just because there's so many Megumins that you probably grab one, and there's a lot of free to play options for Megumi. So there you have to keep that in mind. Next up, Darkness. Darkness, we're just gonna go ahead and grab her. She doesn't hit anything. These Darknesses suck. All the good Darknesses, I say good, are limited, unfortunately. Where is the other one? There she is. Sick. Okay. Chris. So, Chris. Wind-based ult, yada yada. Low chance to bind, tier 2 physical defense debuff. She's okay. I could see people picking her over the F tier characters, but she's still not that good. There's also the chaperone Chris, who's water. She has a self tier 2 agility buff, and when her HP is above 70%, she does more damage. She is lightning. Actually, not the worst character. Where is she? I did not sort this by characters. There she is. I think she's a cut above the other Chris. Deserves to be an A, not some crazy character though. And Maid Chris isn't in here. OG Wiz. OG Wiz is you know, suffering from the normal auto attack, so it doesn't do us much damage, which doesn't heal her, and she's not doing anything crazy. Same with Pajama Wiz, who's slightly better, but still not doing a lot. She has a self tier 2 magic attack buff, and she's pretty much just there to do damage and have her unique weapon heal her. Also not a great option to pick with this ticket, because mind you, you're paying $40. Next up, we have OG Union. I think OG Union is extremely good. The only reason I put Megami lower is because Megami's whole deal is pretty much just kill mobs, explosion, you're done. There's quite a bit of free Megamis that you could sub. There's a 3-star one, so I don't think she's super crazy, even though she's probably, the OG one is probably on the same tier as most of the S characters. But Light Union is extremely good. She has a party tier 1 magic attack buff, and she just meant to do damage. You know, her ult is also really good. She has the lightning ult now, which is very nice. You probably wouldn't use it on this Union, but it is an option. Bath Union is also a very good choice. She has more damage if she's below HP, and more damage if she's above HP, so you can utilize her pretty well in Arena. I hope that didn't mess up where my thing was. It did not. Sick. Personally, I think that she is not on the same tier as this Union, but definitely would be helpful. I know Wind is more toward eyes now, but that doesn't mean you can't rock mages. I'm also very blind when it comes to Union. Boom. Union. Next up is the Water Union. So she only does a tier 2 magical defense debuff and just does damage. Also a very good character. I haven't found myself using this one as much, but the same thing applies. Very good damage for water. I believe she's also in the same tier. She just doesn't have as crazy, like, she doesn't have Rin, which is unfortunate. Yin. But I still think she's S. If you don't have her, you can grab her. Union is just overall a very good character. Next up is Selfish Iris. I'm gonna put all the Irises in A. While they do good damage, she is a greedy character and pretty much only ever heals the allies. Is the ball one in here? No, the ball one is not on the ticket, unfortunately. But the OG Light and the Lightning Casino one, the Casino one has a small party heal, and the OG one has a party tier 1 physical attack buff. Nothing too crazy, just meant for damage. Unfortunately, she's not a mage. That's a Crimson Demon or Rin, so she's low on the list. Next up, we have the Celio, the OG one. Only heals and does nothing else, has a bind. Very disgusting, don't use her. The other one has a defense buff and high chance to bind, also not great. The Casino one, don't pick her, please, I beg of you. The Barista one has a minor heal and a tier 1 agility buff, so that's not too bad actually. I don't see why you pick her, but she's definitely a better Cecilia if you for some reason need her or like her. Next up are the Arus. No surprise here, both of them are in S. There's the fire one. Well, it inflicts haze, so I don't like her as much. She's still good. She has a moderate boost, which is tier 2, boost your magic attack, and haze. The haze is really yikes, and it's only a 199 compared to the light one doing 223, and the other one, OG, doing 199. But gives a tier 2 magic defense debuff, and OGRO has an AoE as well, helping her out. The light one doesn't, but also has a tier 2 defense debuff on another skill. So the OG and the light one are going to be S, while the fire one I would put a little lower. If it didn't have haze, I would probably put the fire Aru with the other two, but the haze is just kind of a useless skill, and you know, lowers the percentages for some reason. If the percentage was higher, it wouldn't matter, but since it's lower and not doing anything, it's not great. Next up is Mitsurugi. So Mitsurugi is kind of one of those characters that his ult is great and he just tanks, so even the bad Mitsurugis can still do something. We have the lightning, earth, and fire. The lightning one has a small party heal and a party tier 1 physical defense buff. The earth one has a bind clear and just does damage, but you know, it has some pretty good damage output. The fire one has a minor boost to agility from allies and then does more damage from above more HP. I know fire isn't the greatest, but fire and Mitsurugi actually helped me through the dungeon. I think they're all roughly around the same tier. Boop, boop, boop. I would say maybe the lighting one is the best, but he's not that much better, or doesn't, you know, do too much more. He's just on the tankier side for helping your units, while the other two are focused on damage. Next up, we have Dust. You already know what it is. If you pick Dust, I'm not your biggest fan. Oh, there's 3 Dust. If you pick Dust, if you spend 40 USD and pick Dust, I really don't know what to say. I don't know how to help you. It's just not good. Next up, we have good old Rin. Rin is extremely good, and I know Eyes, you know, physical. I've ran Rin as well. I've seen people run Rin and Eyes together in Arena and still get like top 10 or top 100. I think it was the first day. I swear I saw Rin and Eyes together on Arena. Like, I don't know how they'd be doing it, but they'd be going crazy. Rin is still very, very good. You know, she has competition with Eyes, but if you don't have OG Rin, definitely not a bad pickup. There is the Water Rin. Her ults are cool and all, but she only does a tier 1 magical attack debuff, while the other one has the physical attack debuff and then a tier 2 magic defense debuff, which is very nice. She's not terrible, I guess, but she's nowhere near as OP as the wind one. Next up, we have Leah. OG Leah does absolutely nothing. Party haze clear and a self tier 1 taunt. No actual buff, just taunts, takes damage, can't really do much. And that's the only Leah in here, unfortunately, because Leah has some pretty good ults. Next up is Celio. Celio is actually really good. She has a party tier 2 physical defense buff and a haze clears whatever, and she has her OP wind Rhapsody ult that finally works, has a tier 2 damage cut. You know, there's definitely better healers, but if you don't have her and you're in need of a healer, that's good. She is there. Next up, we have Erica. Fire Erica isn't the greatest, but she does have her ult, the 35% ult charge, so I'll go ahead and put her in A. If you don't have a single Erica, she's not the worst character to grab, but you know, if you have other Ericas, there's almost no reason to get her, fortunately, especially if you have Kempo. Next up is Melissa. OG Melissa, not too great anymore. She has her low chance to haze and her self 2 agility debuff. She's pretty much just there to do dark physical damage, you know, but there's so many mages, and there's the free Aru, the free Rin. There's just so many mages that you probably aren't going to use her regardless. So unfortunately, she's lower on the tier list, but she's not an F at least. Then we have Mia. Mia has a party tier 2 physical defense buff and a party tier 2 magic defense buff, and then she just does damage. Can't remember what her ult does off the top of my head. I just remember it's not anything too crazy. I think the Melon Bomb was okay. Definitely a unit I don't use at all, so it's hard to remember everything about her, but she's not good. And if you pick her over, let's say you don't have Aru and you pick Mia over Aru, you might need help, unless you really like her, of course. And then last but not least, we have, I just noticed I missed 2 characters. I'm big dummy. Amy Amy is not too great. She doesn't really do too much. She has a cleanse and a part 2 magic defense buff, and she just heals. She's like a really worse version of Celio. Just because she's on this list, Celio's over Amy, I just don't think you should get Amy whatsoever, because they pretty much do the same gist. Anyway, other Aqua. Let me go back to her. I don't know why or how I missed her. Aqua. Back to Aqua. Poison Cure, light damage. She pretty much is just a really bad version of the Damachi one we just got. Don't pick her. Even if you don't have Damachi, just use anybody else. I'm sure there's a 1-star, 2-star Aqua that does light damage, I think. I can't remember off the top of my head. Even if she doesn't, you're better off using anyone else. And the Kazuma is actually really good. I can't believe I missed him. Fortunately, there is no Ball Kazuma, and the Ninja Kazuma is too recent. So this Kazuma has a self tier 2 agility buff and a tier 2 physical defense debuff. Also equipped with his snipe ult, he's going to do really good damage. So I'm going to put him up in S. Definitely not a bad character to pick. I'm personally not going to buy this ticket, but if I did, I would probably pick this Kazuma, just because I don't have a single 4-star Kazuma at the moment. But overall, this is the tier list that I'm going with. These are my opinions, of course. If you have most of the characters in S and A, probably not the best idea to pick this ticket, because it is $40, rather steep. You are getting 7,500 quartz along with it, so that's what, 2.5 multis. So you could probably tear through a good amount of those 700 ones that are out right now. Not a bad idea. If you're missing like all the characters in S, probably, and you spend money, probably a good idea to grab it so you can get one of these characters, because they're all really good in arena. There are replacements, like there's a new Aru who just came out to replace the Darkness one. I think there's a Wind Rin 3-star, if I'm remembering correctly. Union also has some replacements. So, you know, there's always another character, especially for, you know, if you like Union for ult, you can use 3-star Union's ult and just, you know, make it work. But anyway, I think it's a good deal, especially if you just want a certain character, because, you know, at the end of the day, it's your guys' money. If you really like OG Darkness, you don't have her, and you want to get her on the ticket, I say go ahead. I wouldn't recommend it, but pretty much final verdict, if you have all the characters in S and A, or you have a good amount of characters in S, I'd recommend not getting it. But like I said, your guys' choice. These are my opinions on the characters, and that's pretty much it for the video. Don't forget to like and subscribe like I said before, and thanks for watching. I'll catch you on the next Konosuba video.